Cyber Reapers! Hello, Cyber Reapers! So, tonight, or today, whenever, wherever you are, I would like to talk about a book. So, I am filming this right after the ice warning in Houston, so fortunately my power didn't go out. We're okay. But also the world is not okay because, well, there are a lot of things going on. For the sake of keeping this video relaxing, just know that any feelings you're experiencing on, maybe you're feeling like everything is a lot. There's a lot of unsafeness out there. There's a lot of just, it's completely understandable to not feel okay about the environment that's around you. And, it's a lot for me as well. So, I bring up, though, today's book is a dystopian, and so it might resonate with you and your feelings during this time. It's a dystopian book. It's also by a Black author, so if you want to fight your form of resistance as reading marginalized voices, I highly recommend doing that. This book is an example of one of them. It's also an indie book, as part of an indie book series, so, yeah, I highly recommend it. Now, with some of the somber tone, kind of moving past that now, let's talk about this book. So this book is called Silent Sounds, and it is by Annait L.J. So, let's talk about it, right? I've got my notes with me, making sure that I don't forget stuff, because I'm feeling a little extra sleepy today. So, like I said, it's dystopian, it's got sci-fi, a little bit of fantasy maybe, and, did I say dystopian? So, it's also classified as a new adult book, so it's that range of, say, 18 to in your 20s. That's the audience. And this book, this story, has a society that is on another planet. So it's set in the future, humanity is on another planet, and it seems like things are going pretty well. Humanity has learned, okay, don't abuse the planet. So, work with the planet is better than working against it. So, people put a lot of value in science and in learning, and that's amazing, that's great. And so, scientific advancements are going forward, and scientists and teachers are highly valued. Society has kind of a hierarchical system for the job. So, you are assigned a ring that shows your job, that essentially shows your job and how proficient you are at it. And so, that's kind of the start of this sort of utopian, society. Things are pretty good overall, except, here's where the except comes in. The society in general, this is not the bad part, to be clear, I'm doing a little more setup. The society communicates via sign language, which is very cool. I have not read a book before where sign language is the predominant way of communication, and so that provides a lot more interesting aspects of how the culture is, of if you take somebody's hand, it can be that sign language is the primary mode of communication, but this is because people don't have the capability to speak. Most people. Just there's a part of their brain that just doesn't activate to allow them to speak. And there are very few people in this society who can still speak. And they speak the old tongue, and they speak it aloud. But there's a caveat. Here's where society goes a little iffy. Overall, people are just going about living their lives, but if somebody speaks the old tongue, they get abducted, never to be seen again. So that's a little bit of trouble there. Like, okay, that's not good. What happens to those people? Well, you find out in this book because one of our main characters speaks the old tongue. Let's bring in the characters, because the characters are the main focus of the story. As fun as the premise is and interesting, it is really driven by the characters and how their identities interact with the system, and how they kind of come to terms with their part in society, or where they are. And now the characters all are sort of outside of society, or at least the society's ideal. And so it's interesting to see in the different ways that the main characters are kind of outside and excluded. This book has multiple perspectives. It changes by the chapter. And there are 4 to 5 main characters. I think the 5th one might be a little bit of a spoiler, so I'm going to leave that out in case you choose to read the book. But of the 4, the main 4 that are shown through most of the book, let's start with the person who's introduced first, Emery. Now, Emery, she is a teacher, and so she's in a pretty valuable position. And she does her best to protect her students, especially the ones who confide in her, letting her know that they speak the old tongue. And it's only been a few times that that's happened, but a few times too many, that child is found out and she can't do anything about it, despite how much she tries. And so, but she's very protective, very fierce, advocates for her students quite a bit. And also her niece, Zelia. So, Zelia is one of the 4 main characters as well, and she speaks the old tongue. So, Emery and Zelia don't really know each other that well at the beginning of the book, until Zelia is placed in Emery's care. And so the two of them get to know each other a little bit. And Zelia is really cool. I quite like following her perspective. I think upon further reflection, she might be my favorite of the 4, even though I like all 4 of their perspectives quite a bit. But Zelia, she enjoys plants because it brings her a connection to her father, who she cared about quite a bit, who might be either deceased or missing. We don't know. And she has a lot of self-respect. She's very fierce. She advocates for herself quite a bit. And she has just this really fun smugness because she's clever, and she's able to understand when other people are trying to manipulate her, and so she finds satisfaction in showing that she won't be manipulated the way that they want her to be. And so I really like that. And So she's a student, though. She's 17 years old, so she's about to graduate, and if she gets out of the school system, she no longer has to take the tests that are testing for the old tongue. Unfortunately, though, the authorities are already kind of catching on to Emery, and they see her connection to Zelia, so they're suspecting the both of them, and so the authorities have it out for Emery, and therefore Zelia. And so it's just kind of, it gets a little messy. And one of the reasons it gets messy is because the authorities send in a spy to pose as a teacher, and he is Jericho, one of the 4 perspectives, and he is there to essentially report back on anything that he notices about Emery, in terms of like her harboring students who use the old tongue. And that results in personal conundrums for him of like figuring out, okay, do I really want to continue being compliant with this system that I know is bad, but I'm trying to use it in order to get what I want? He's really just trying to do one more assignment for the authorities before he can get whatever it is he wants, because it's indicated that he has people he cares about that he's trying to protect, but he's putting them above his morals for right now, for the sake of completing what is hopefully his final assignment for the authorities. But yeah, that results in moral dilemmas. And I think that's all I'll say about him. He's really interesting, but I think that goes, anything more to say about him goes kind of beyond the blurb. And even bringing up this 4th person a little bit goes beyond the blurb, but I'll keep it vague, because I do want to mention him. Elijah is the 4th of the main 4 perspectives, and he works for the scientists, and he genuinely has a good heart, and he's trying to do his best to move up the ranks to become a scientist, because he genuinely believes in the mission of exploring and discovery, especially when it comes to finding out more about people who can speak. Like, he thinks that's awesome. And yeah, the methods can be a little extreme sometimes, but he hasn't seen anything that's too extreme to really like make him feel disillusioned with the system yet. So that's what I'll say about him. And that's kind of the setup. From there, it's really like you have those four players in this game of this system, and the book goes off and running from there. And I quite enjoyed following each of the perspectives. I don't think there was anybody who I felt like shouldn't have been there. I think all 4 of their perspectives were needed, especially because they all 4 experience being on the outside of society in one way or another, but in different ways, and they each have different they're on different levels of like the system's privilege scale, and they're kind of each finding out their own, they're going on their own paths of discovering what about the system they agree with, disagree with, and what are they willing to do about it. And that, I think, is very timely. Yeah, I've not been reading a lot of dystopian recently, but I'm really glad for this one. It just, I happened to see it on an author showcase on social media that I'm part of, and I was going, oh wow, this sounds really interesting for what I want to read right now, and so I'm glad I picked it up. First book was available at the library, the second one is not, so I might have to just go directly to the author's website and buy it from there. I don't know, we'll see. I might do that, or I might hop to a different book for now. We'll see though. But yeah, that's kind of the premise, the initial setup. Now let me take a peek at my notes just to see what else I had to say. I'm actually quite surprised. I think even in this tired state, I actually covered most, if not almost all, my notes. I will reiterate though, because I did mention, but I didn't go into. All the 4 main characters are black, and they have different body types, hairstyles, genders, and I mean, everybody communicates via sign language. That's one of the main points that's acknowledged in the book, or in the acknowledgments in the author's note, is that Annait was trying to inspire people to learn sign language. So I think that's really cool. I am very slowly trying to learn sign language. I mean, I got some. That is D, right? I always get D and F mixed up. D, E, F. Where's F? That's not F, that's W. F? No, that's D, because it's shaped like a D, I'm pretty sure. Unless. No. Okay. I don't remember D versus F, so that means I have to go back and look at my letters again, even. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and I think Z was just like that. So okay, hey, I got a decent amount of it sort of memorized. That's alright. And I've got some numbers memorized, sorta. And some things, I think, how are you? Good. Oh, wait, I have to sit up more so you can actually see what I'm doing. Good. I don't know if that's even the right sign at this point, if I'm moving it up so much. Yeah, good. Nice. So yeah, I'm trying to learn. And so, reading books with sign language in it is nice and inspiring. Yeah. And I think I am really surprised at how quickly I went through all of my notes and things. I feel like this video should be longer, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe I should just allow it to be as it is. Yeah, especially because of how tired I'm feeling. I'm shifting my sleep schedule, so the shift has been interesting, by 5 hours, and it's day 5 or 6 or so of me waking up 5 hours earlier than my body naturally wants to, and so that's been fun. But I've been doing that, and I feel like I should be able to switch to a different schedule a lot faster than this, but it's really just taking a lot longer than I want it to. Because yeah, I am not alert for most of the day. I've only started, I think, a couple days ago. I was able to feel alert by the time I went to bed. So the whole day I was just tired, all the way until going to bed. So that's a little unfortunate. And right now I decided I was alert enough to make this video, and I'm pretty happy about that, at least, because I wasn't sure if I would have to wait another day or two, since I finished the book yesterday, and I wanted to kind of get my fresh thoughts on it out. So I did. What do you know? Yeah. Just overall, I think, really good story. And if you're looking for an indie book, in particular a dystopian sci-fi sort of one, written by a black author with black main characters, I think this book was super good. And yeah, I'm glad to hype this one up, because I'm always looking for indie books that are within genres that are kind of similar to mine, because I feel like my algorithm shows me books that are way outside of my genres that I write in, and that's awesome, but I want to be able to connect with people who are actually writing the same genres as I am as well, so that I know for certain that I'm more inclined to like their book, so that I can, talk about it and share it with other people. Because, generally I try to pick books that I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy reading. And that usually means pick books that are written by marginalized authors, and or are written in genres that I'm familiar with and enjoy. So, yeah, I don't know. That's what led me here. So, super happy about that. Also, I do want to appreciate the stunning cover as well. Let me see if I can get some room. Yeah. So, stunning cover, and the other two covers for the other two books are also like this, just like, I think, the different characters. So, that's really cool. In case the cover draws you in, here's this one. So, yeah. Alright. Very floral, very red, very fun. So, I think that's it for right now. Oh no, I'm so tired that I'm forgetting the outro again. Thank you. There we go. I want to make sure to thank you so much for listening, because you are an awesome listener. And I hope that whatever you do next, wherever you go next, that it is fun and or relaxing and or worthwhile to you. And I do